This toy spot is on the Jakks Pacific TNA Wrestling Deluxe Impact figures. Today we're going to be looking at a very loose symbol down below, which means suicide. Yeah, I got the set from Big Bad Toy Store. All the figures were intact and sealed, except for poor Suicide. He came completely unglued from his card. But I figured if I show you the package end of it, let's just pretend for the sake of the review that this is actually still stuck to its card. He has no name, so I mean for any parent or person that doesn't know Suicide, you probably would not know that this character's name is Suicide. And got the Suicide symbol down below. Kind of looks like something from Nightwing. Nightwing would have that symbol, perhaps. And a picture of Suicide up at the top corner there. Guess he bears some resemblance to Crossbones. On the back of the package, the other Deluxe Impact figures. Available are Sting, we've got Jeff Jarrett, we got Suicide, we got Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles. There is also a 6-sided ring available. Though really a shame. For one thing, its scale is way off. It should be really a lot larger than that. Also, TNA hasn't had a 6-sided ring for quite some time. Sadly, they're a bit behind, I guess, with designing these figures. Now, I would normally say what we're going to do right now is we're going to open this up, have a look at the figure. Being that he's already open, you know what? I'm not even going to pause this video. I'm not even going to edit it. We're just actually going to take the figure out of the package. It's one of the only few times you'll actually see me take a figure out of package on video. Right? There's no sense. No sense in, you know, you guys have things to do. There's no sense in actually wasting time. And we'll just get the figure set up. Pan the camera down is what I would normally do. And here we have Suicide out of package. I didn't mind Suicide when he was actually in TNA. I really only watch Impact. I don't watch the other show that they have. I think Suicide still wrestles. I don't know who is playing him. I mean, originally Suicide was played by Christopher Daniels, who was covering for an injured Frank Kazarian. And when Frank Kazarian got better, he picked up the mantle and ended up being Suicide. Now, again, I don't know if Suicide still wrestles. Anybody who follows the other show, not Impact, but the other TNA show, I think I've seen clips where he still is wrestling, but very hot, I would think, for Kazarian to be this wrestler. I mean, he's top to bottom covered. I mean, there is no part on him that can breathe. You imagine wrestling for 15-20 minutes, and your body can't breathe. He probably lost quite a bit of weight when he was Suicide. Suicide's finisher, the Suicide Solution. But it was always interesting, Christopher Daniels, between Daniels and Kazarian, watching the two different styles of wrestling. Even though it was supposed to always be the same guy, you could always tell the Kazarian Suicide versus the Christopher Daniels Suicide. Paintwork is actually not too bad. I've got some paint flaking off where the joint is, actually both shoulders. I've also got a really loose leg. This leg is extremely loose. The mask is nice. Sadly, it doesn't really do much movement. It moves left to right, but you can't move it. You can't really lift it up. I guess he can look down. You can do the Suicide gesture. If you could get the arm, I guess, close enough to his head. It seems the figure seems chunky. Like, it seems a little chunkier than what it should be. I mean, it looks like Suicide, but I don't know. The figure to me just doesn't look as executed as well as it could be. In the way of his articulation, speaking just of his head, I mean, his head can rotate all the way around. He's got articulation in the shoulders. You rotate it. You can rotate at the bicep. You can bend at the elbow, rotate at the hand. His one elbow pad continues to slide off. I mean, it could slide right off, I guess. He's got the mid-torso articulation. You rotate at the waist. The leg, as mentioned, can bend out, can bend back and forth. You rotate at the thigh, bend the knee at 2 points. You also rotate the foot, and you can also swivel it. You can certainly get him in lots of different poses, but I don't know, there's something a bit disappointing with the figure. The coloring is nice, and it's well executed, but I don't know, it just seems kind of chunky to me. For that reason, I'm probably going to only give Suicide, I'm going to give him a bit of a dismal 5.5. You like Suicide, obviously pick up the figure. It's one of the only times you'll see Suicide in a figure. And I think I'm kind of glad that Kazarian has moved on from doing Suicide, if he has. And now he's part of Fortune, and then of course of Immortal, the grand faction with Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. But there you go. Today's toy spot, we were looking at the Jakks Pacific, looking at the Suicide. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more toy spots to come, and I will see you guys next time. Later.